Hello everyone and welcome to the first part of the Christmas tree tutorial. The first part will be about building a spline structure of the branches of the Christmas tree. The second one will be about creating the hair and geometry, and the third one will be about the decoration. Okay, so let's get started. So at first we will need some splines. So let's create let's create a linear spline here. So linear spline, 1 second. Let's move them. Let's enable the enable snap, enable work plane snap, and enable grid point snap here. Okay, so here's our first branch. Now let's create a B-spline, and let's disable the work plane snap and enable the spline snap. So here's our B-spline. Let's create 3 points. This is just approximately what branch will look like. Okay, like that. Let's see, let's have a look at the object mode. Let's move the axis to the beginning of the spline. Let's create a copy of the spline and scale it down. So the idea is to create a branch, a spline. So a bunch of splines now looking like a branch of a tree with certain complexity. So, and we will decrease the complexity as we go and create kind of different sets of branches. So here are the couple of the sub branches. Rotate it. Go to a point mode. Move the point somewhere here. Okay, that's fine. Go to object mode, create a copy of this spline, rotate it, go to point mode, move the point over like that. Okay, that seems to be in order. Okay, so now let's go to the object mode and copy this one here and maybe scale it up and maybe create a copy and scale it down like that. Create another copy of these splines. This one I'll place here and scale it up a little. This one I'll place here and scale it up a little as well. So, and these will be, I want them to be placed somewhere here like that. So, and let's have a look at this one. Maybe increase this size a little bit, and let's copy one of the splines here, place it over here and scale it down and rotate it a little bit. Okay, so here's what we have. Let's see. Okay, I think that's okay. And now we want to create the symmetry on the other side. So what we're going to do is group these splines. No, although yeah, let's group them and place the axis at the beginning here. And let's create a symmetry. Pressing Alt, and then the node becomes the child of that symmetry object. Okay, so here's what we have, right? So this is approximately what the branch will look like. Okay, so now I want to understand what is the size of this branch. Let's create a cube, and I think 1 meter by 1 meter width and height for the tree will be fine. So we need to scale this. We need to scale this branch down to fit this this cube. This is going to be too large. Okay, so this is the size of the branch. Let's delete that. Let's put them in the group, and we can now create a copy of this. Create a copy of this branch, and now we want to remove the splines we do not need, like that, just to simplify the branch. So let's place it here, rotate it a little bit, then place this one here, place this one here, rotate it, scale it down, move it over here, scale it down, like that. Maybe let's move 3 splines over here, maybe scale them up, and move the axis to this point, move the actual spline. Oops, what's there? Yeah, okay, so move the axis to this point and scale it up a little. Okay, this one can be moved over here. Something went wrong now. Yeah, let's make it separately scale this one up. Okay, I messed it up. So let's yeah, move tool, move it over here. Let's move tool, move it over here. Move tool, move it over here. All right. So now let's scale this one up. Now scale it down. This one, oops, this one will be. Yeah, I think here's fine. Here's fine. Scale it up. Scale it up. So what I'm trying to achieve is that these side branches, sub-branches, have to be a little bit smaller than this one in the middle. And these ones should be smaller than this one in the middle. So, yeah, now enable the symmetry. It's all fine. Let's move to the next level, like that. And yeah, remove these ones, these. Zoom in. What's that? Yeah, let's disable symmetry. So this one we don't need. This one we don't need as well. This one can be scaled down a little bit. All right. Yeah. Next one, and enable symmetry again. Next one. Disable symmetry so that we can select the splines. Let's scale this one up like that. Let's see what we got. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, it's fine, I think. Now let's make it a little bit lower, like that. Okay, and the next will be, let's see, here, and I forgot to enable the symmetry here. Okay, disable symmetry, and this one will be taller and more close to the to the middle spline. Okay, enable the symmetry again. Let's see what we got. Yeah, it's fine. So we are going from kind of bottom to the top, and the higher we get on the level of the branch, the simpler it will be. So, and the last one will be kind of very simple, which is this. Okay. All right. So what do we got? So here's what we have. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Six branches, and we need them to go around the axis of them, right? So let's put them into a cloner. The cloner clones them in a linear pattern. We want it to be radial and in the horizontal axis and with a 0 radius. So this is what we are going to have. Let's make it 6 to have this symmetry everywhere. So what do we want to do with this? This doesn't look like a kind of a level of the tree. So we're going to create this radial patterns for each of the branch and then stack them up to get the tree, right? So here's what we have. Let's see. We can rotate them like this, right? And maybe even more. And then we can rotate them like this, right? So here's what we have. I think it's okay. Now let's make it a little bit less. The angle might be lower. Okay, but this is now very synthetic. So we're you will feel the difference immediately. I mean, this is not the natural way of the branches are placed on a tree. So let's disable the cloner for a second. And I want it to be a little bit wavy. For that, I will use the random effector. I will put it into the null, and let's go and enable the deformation mode and set it to point. So here's what we have. Yeah, pretty natural now, right? Yeah. Let's disable this displacement and this displacement, and so we are displacing the points along the y-axis only. So let's maybe make it to 5, put it to 5. So doesn't look like a branch at all. Now, what do we want to do with this? We want to set the random mode to noise. What do we have? Set the animation speed to 0 and scale, set the scale a little bit lower. So here's what we have. This kind of like a branch. This will create this randomness all over the place. Yeah, okay. I think I like it. The only thing I do not like is that the middle, the spline in the middle is completely straight. See? So it doesn't get, the points on the spline doesn't get displaced. That's because we don't have any, actually. We have only 2 of them. So let's see, let's take all these splines and set the intermediate points mode to be subdivided. And forget the angle, let's set it to 90 degrees, which is maximum, I think. Yeah, it's maximum. Okay, and this at the maximum length, I want to keep it pretty low. I mean, the subdivisions have to be, there should not be a lot of them, because we will have a lot of the branches, and we don't want that geometry to be there all everywhere, because it is all will be covered by the hair and the needles, and you will basically do not see any of these subdivisions on any of these polygons we will have. So let's set it to 8. Maybe let's set it to 5. Okay, 5 is better. Okay, so this is gonna be pretty much the kind of, you know, yeah, a lot of angles, but yeah, sharp angles, but that's okay. Anyway, we can adjust this later. Anyway, yeah. So let's enable the cloner now, and let's hide the random effector, and let's see what cloner does. So this is what the cloner created. Now we have this. We, by the way, can apply 2 random effectors with different scale, kind of to create kind of the high density displacement and the low density displacement, and yeah, to create even more, even, I don't know. Yeah, but for now we'll go with this, what we have. The only thing I do not like is that we have this displacement on the center point, on the first point of the branch. So I want them to be exactly in a single point. Yeah, okay, so how do we achieve that? So let's disable the cloner. Let's see. So here's the displacement. We want to remove, and let's enable the fall off. Let's make it box, and let's make the fall off to 100%, and let's invert it. So that gives us the that in the middle it will be 0, and as far it the further we go from the center of this of the random effector center, yeah, the more intensive it will get. So let's enable the random effector, and let's maybe yeah, just leave it at 100 by 100 by 100, and let's use the scale. So let's set the scale so that we have that kind of smooth intensity increasing, yeah, as we go from the center of the branch set. Okay, so something like that. Let's enable the cloner, and let's hide the random effector. We don't need to see it. Okay, so now we will have all the branches starting from the very middle point of the cloner. Okay, so now what we're going to do is repeat these steps for every branch. So let's go to the second one. So this one will be second. Okay, so what I want to do is first I will need the random effector, although I want to, yeah, first thing I will need to do is I will type spline to select all the splines, and I will set all of their intermediate point modes to subdivided. Angle will be 90 degrees and the distance will be 5 centimeters. So this will give us the desired amounts of points for every spline. So here's the random effector. I'm going to copy it and insert it into this null. So here's what we have, but we will still have this displacement in the middle. That's because the random effector is placed over there, and we will need it to be in the center of this null of our branch. Okay, so I just placed it in the middle, and now we will need this cloner. I will take this cloner and remove the child, and I will create a bunch of these cloners because I will need all of them, right? So now we will place this cloner in this null into this cloner, and second, I just missed something. So here's our null and the cloner is placed also over there, and I want it to be here. I will just move it along, yeah, like that. Great. And I will maybe, yeah, I will just do the same for the rest of the branches. These cloners, holding control, I just move the cloner, and yeah, great. Okay, so here's our cloner, which is going to contain this this branch here. So here's our branch starting from the very middle point and having this random effector on it. And yeah, let's go further. So here's cloner number 3, and we'll place it there. And I will need also the random effector. I'm going to copy it and place it into the null here. And I will press this button, which will put the if you don't have this button, that's because I created it manually. It is, you can go to the customization, customize commands, and right there, PSR, I think, yeah, and here it is, reset PSR, and you just drag it and place it where you want, and this is going to reset the position to this position XYZ to 0, 0, 0. So for every object selected. All right. So here's our displacement, this is our random, so here's our cloner. It's all fine, six elements, and yeah, so the random effector is there in place, that's fine. So next cloner, this one, this, let's paste the random effector, put it into this null, put this null into this cloner, put this cloner over here, and here it is. Still, we have this random effector. I forgot to place it into the 0 position. Here it is. So that fall off works for it as well. So paste the random effector, place it into the null, reset PSR, place the null into the cloner, put the cloner in the correct position. Next one, paste the random effector, place it into the null, reset PSR, place the null into the cloner. So here's our cloner. Great. So what are we going to do now? Create a cube S and remove the cube. Just move to the center of the scene. All right. So here's what we have. We have a bunch of branches, right? So now we need to stack them up. Okay. So how do we do this? We are going to put them all into a cloner. So I created a new cloner, put them all into that cloner. Let's use that endpoint mode, and let's write there 150 centimeters, and there will be 15 elements, for example. I don't know how many elements we will use, but yeah, we'll just check this out. Okay, so what do we have now? We have this randomness there. Although it is not randomness, the clones are iterating one after another. So, and we want them to blend, going from the very top to the very bottom, and kind of increasing or decreasing, in our case, the complexity of the branches. And now we have this just the other way around. So let's fix the order of the clones here, just like that. Okay, so what do we have now? We have this high complexity here and low complexity there. So we have actually, because of this blending, we have at least we should have this kind of problem here. Let's see. Let's see if we have that. Oh, well, we should have that, but I can't see it right now. Okay, the problem that we should have met is that, well, that is actually strange. I had this as I was modeling this tree before. Okay, then I suppose we can go for it and just leave it like it is. So basically, the problem was that the splines, because of the blending mode in the clones. Maybe let's increase the number of the clones. Maybe that will give us that effect. Okay. No, not really. Okay, never mind. So the problem was that because of this blending between the cloners, the splines were disconnected from their middle splines. So these sub branches were disconnected from the main branch, and that was yeah. So the cloners should have been placed in instead of the clones. We should have used the the instances of the clones. But now everything is in order, so we will just continue. All right, so I don't like, so this doesn't look like a Christmas tree at all. So let's use some scale tool. So let's see object mode, scale, and let's see what that does. Okay, this is the most bottom, this is the segment at the bottom. Let's undo that, and let's scale this one, then this one, and this one, and this one should be scaled a little bit more. Next one. So we are kind of creating the profile of a Christmas tree here. Okay, so actually the the height of the cloner of the Christmas tree can be a little bit lower. So let's make it 100 centimeter. Okay, so what do we have now? Now we have everywhere this regularity. Okay, let's see. This is way too flat. Let's transform and let's see. Let's make it this way. This is gonna be like this. Just make it as you like. So a little bit tweaking, and okay, I think now I see this the phenomenon I was talking about. So let's see here. Yeah. Make it a little bit higher here. Okay, great, perfect. Okay, so let's see now. No, they still seem to be perfectly connected to each other. Okay, here's the one. Here's one. I can see it. So. See this this spline here, and this spline here, this one. So now that one is connected properly. Okay, yeah, that's funny. Okay, never mind. Just forget it. Just forget it. Never mind. All right, so let's move on. So here's our tree. Let's see it in white. All right, so okay, we have this regularity in the displacement. So every stacked layer is kind of is on the same distance from the previous one. I went to maybe and this part looks a little bit too bushy here as this one. I went more items here and less here. So for that I will need the step effector. So let's see, effector and step effector. Okay, so and effectors. Okay, it's there. So the step effector, let's call it step position. Step position. All right. Right, so a scale, disable scale, enable the position, and we will need to zero out this distance here, so that we control the position of the clones with the step effector, and the parameter will be 100 centimeters, and we will be able to control the placement of the clones with this. Slider, I mean spline. So let's see, what do we have here? So let's decrease the number of the items at the bottom, and I want to add one more point here. Yeah, like that. So this will, yeah, this gives us a little bit more kind of bushiness. It's yeah, it's getting more even. Okay, but we need to scale some items down a little bit. Okay, so the last one will be scaled down, the second to last, and this one will be scaled down as well. So let's just scale them down a little, so that, okay, yeah, something like that. Okay, so what do we have now? Now we're having this, yeah, we have the regularity in the rotation, we have zero rotation. We will use the step effector for that as well. But first, I would like to break this point here and this point here. So on each level, the branches are growing kind of from the same point. So what do we need to do? We need to add the random effector, and I don't know, branch position, branch position. Yeah. Okay, let's see so that we see the name, random branch position. Okay, so and parameter will be position x0 z0, and this will be, I don't know, 10 centimeters. And the cloners we are going to apply are this random effector are the clones that are cloning our branches, making the round layers of the branches. So let's take this effector and place it on the on the cloner. So, and this explodes our tree completely. Well, that's because we're using transform space node, and we need to use the transform space effector so that the effector uses its own y-axis, and I don't want to see it in this one as well, and not the y-axis of the rotated clone. So here's what we have. We have a lot less regularity in the placement of the branches, but I don't want actually them to move down. So that's why I'm gonna set the minimum to 0 and the maximum will be 100. So they will go only to the positive direction of the y-axis. So let's see, 10 centimeters is okay. What do you think? What do you think, guys? Is it okay? I think it's okay. Yeah, I think it's fine. Okay, great. So the next step is the rotation. So the next step will be rotation. Let's put another random effector, and this will be rotation. Random rotation. So let's disable position and enable rotation. And this is going to be applied to our tree cloner. Let's call it tree. Right. So here's our rotation, and let's use this random effector to rotate our tree like that. Oh yeah, something like that. Alright, so here's something we already might want to look at. Okay, so I actually don't like this simpleness over here. I want it to be, I don't like this one, this, how to say, hole over here. Yeah, I don't like these points actually. So there's a lot I don't like actually. So let's see how we can fix that. So where is this coming from actually? Okay, this is the large part. Okay. Okay, let's see. Okay, we might want to try to add it our points here. Actually, I don't see any of these long long branches. Maybe that's because the random effector is displacing on the y-axis also the node, but it should use this node space. Let's see if what happens if we disable them. No, it's all the same. It's all the same, the rotation. Okay, here it is. So here's what I was talking about all the time. So this spline here is not connected to anything else, right? So this spline here, the same story. So yeah, I knew it would come. All right, so let's enable this for now. Let's cut this out of here and let's place these into a null right here, and let's go branches. So what are we going to do is create the instances for every cloner and use these instances as the parts for the tree. So let's hide the branches and let's see what do we have now. Okay. Okay, so we don't have any of the standalone branches anymore. So what we want to do is with this one, let's scale it up maybe. No, let's maybe scale it down. Instead of scaling up, let's scale it down. And this one we can scale it up. And maybe we can tweak the random rotation so that from some point of view this would create the desired effect. What we can also do is we still have this regularity in branches, so we can see this this proximity of the splines here and there, and we can use this random branch position. Let's make it 20. Okay, let's more interesting, I think. Let's maybe use the different seed. Okay, this looks better, I think. Let's go back to 10. Okay, let's see what we can do with the step effector position. We're gonna okay, and at the bottom there are way too many branches. Okay, the random position, random rotation, random position. Let's maybe, yeah, like that. Okay, 15. Okay, we still have some proximity of the splines here and there. Okay, what we can also do is let's maybe increase this the scale of this spline, this level and this level, and this level as well, and this level too, and basically all of them. So here are our splines. By the way, this spline actually we can rotate it a little bit more, and this spline we can rotate a little bit less. Okay, so what we can also do is we can use a step effector. Let's select our tree and let's use the step effector, and let's call it scale, step scale. So this is exactly what it is going to do, is the scaling. So basically what it does now, it adds 1 to the because it's relative, 1 to the scale of the last element, and to the first element it adds 0. So what I want to do is I don't want it to add anything at the beginning, and I want it to decrease to the top. So, and the grade of the decreasing, the amount of decreasing, I want to control with this spline. So here's what we have now. All right, we will still need to scale this. I think it's this cloner. Yeah, this one. Let's scale it down. Let's scale this one down. Yeah, it's him. So this one goes down as well. Yeah. Okay. So this one goes down. Actually, let's maybe make it not that. Okay, let's reduce this. The tree is kind of pointing up too much, I think. No, that's the wrong field. Okay. Okay, to have more items here, I want to have more items here. We can also, what we can also do is we can duplicate this instance here. Now, with this one, what do we have? Okay, let's disable the effectors except for the position. Okay, so here's what we have. Here is what we have. Here we have a lot of here, and then we have kind of nothing. And we need this cloner. You know what, let's name them properly. So this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So like that. Here's our scale. We actually can scale this one up, and this one can be scaled down. And that's okay. All right. All right. So let's enable them back. All right. And maybe we want I want this one to point a little bit more to the top, as well as this one, and as well as this one. Okay, so now we have this kind of even distribution of the branches. So let's enable the random branch position, and let's enable the random rotation. Okay, the random rotation kind of messes it all up. Let's maybe disable it for a second and then kind of slightly increase it. Okay, so let's see. Slightly doesn't work. Okay, let's find something that works. I want it to look kind of even. Okay, I think this is something that looks kind of fairly even. Okay, what we can also do is we can just scale this one down and this one down, because at the top we have really short branches, and this one can be scaled down as well, and this one, and maybe this one. Okay, and this one. All right, I think that's it for the creating the splines. So we can create a camera actually, and already have the view. Okay, let's see, and let's reset the PSR for the camera and move it out a little bit and move it up, and disable the snapping. All right, and let's decrease the view angle like that. Okay, let's see what do we have. I think it's fairly even. The one point is missing here, but we'll add it in the next part, I think. Yeah. Well, we can add it now. Actually, this is only a one spline. So let's create a single linear spline like that, and let's enable snapping, work plane, and grid plane is enabled. And let's move it here, and let's move it here. I'll disable this one, and so that it doesn't snap to the splines. Okay, so here's what we have, and yeah, something like that. So we can add geometry to this spline. Let's call it stem, and let's group it and call it stem. And we have so that we have branches, stem, branches, and then we have the tree, right? All right, and let's add the tags. Tags, what is that? Symbol for the and protection tag, so that the camera doesn't move while we're working. Step scale. Do we need it? No, we don't need it. Okay, so yeah, see you in the next part. Bye.